Hey, going back to working on more of the Tails engine, I have done a pretty substantial amount, like not recording it, like making components, like a tile map component. Yeah, you can go over the git commit history or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't really matter because they're all very specific implementations of things. The thing that matters at the moment is audio. There's no audio, and I want to make some kind of audio manager. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I have this audio manager class here, which will be some global audio manager. And I'm going to keep it as audio manager, but I'm going to change how it works. I did a little bit of research into how the Game Boy Advance does audio stuff, and it's got 4 channels, it seems. A square wave, a second square wave, a normal wave, and then a noise channel. I don't really want to restrict it that much because we're not on the actual hardware. I instead just want to just provide a way to, if you do want to restrict yourself, you can quite easily, but if you don't have to, basically. And the way I'm thinking of doing that is with buses. So this will be a singleton still. There just won't be anything in it at the moment because I want to do bus stuff. So this the sound assets will just be sound buffers and things. I don't actually need anything at the moment. Yeah, no, I don't need anything. It's going to have just actually no, I do need to point to a bus class because it's going to have a vector of buses. Like this would just be all of the buses that are in use, and a bus can be just a sound that plays when you call to play. It can be music that's streamed. It could just be any kind of sound source, really, because each bus will then contain a specific sound source, well, a specific implementation. A bus is essentially an interface, so it should probably be iBus. Yeah, it's basically an interface where the implementation then has, a pointer to the sound buffer and the sound object, or the music object, or some implementation of the sound streaming class, whatever SFMO uses. So I'm going to make the bus interface. There we go. Now we obviously need to run CMake. I forget. I haven't worked on Tails engine in a bit of time. I did the component stuff like a few days ago, and I kind of haven't done much since then. Wait, what? Generator Unix make files. Why are make files the Why have I not got Visual Studio as a generator? I was experimenting with like actual GBA development with the GBA HPP library, but I don't see why that would change anything to do with CMake. Yeah, this is the thing for MSVC. So I don't know why that's not. So, okay. So I think what's happening is it's trying to use the MinGW version with like MSys, which is what's used for DevKit Pro, which is then what's used as the tool chain for building Game Boy Advance ROMs and other stuff. So it's using that for some reason instead of Visual Studio. So obviously these are the following generators, but why is Visual Studio not here? Why is it suddenly just gone? Unless I need to update it, but I don't. I see why I need. What is this? In this video, learn about setting and managing breakpoints. No, I don't want this. Go away. Oh yes, I've got to close this, haven't I? Oh my goodness, this is horrendous. This is fruitless. I'm going to stop this. Okay. It was because MSys or something was at the top of my environment variable path, and so for some reason Visual Studio wasn't being found or something via paths. I don't know, man, but I removed it. Who cares? It found it. So it isn't working because the current CMake cache directory is different to the directory users is different to the home one. Why is it looking in home? Okay. Can I finally open the solution and work on this project, please? We have the bus files, and it seems like it will work. Oh man, oh yeah, I should probably add that to the settings. Classes. We can also add a new one for the eye. There we go. So it's going to be protected. We can say virtual play. Obviously we need a virtual destructor as well. And this for some reason is because it's got no return value. Yeah, virtual stop. Virtual pause. That's generally the basic stuff, I think. I don't know why I made a CPP file if it's a interface. I'll get rid of that or something at some point. Right, so we need to have a function that returns a size t add bus, and this will just add a bus, although this should probably be templated though. Yeah, because obviously you're going to add a specific class bus. So we want to say, well, I want to say create bus, and then we can make a new function called add bus, which will take any unique points with bus. And here we can just return add bus, make unique, yeah, that's what it's called, of t. There we go. And obviously we probably want a concept of this or something, but yeah, we don't need it. So then we can say buses in place back, move in the input bus, and then return the size -1 to get the last index. So yeah, we add the bus. Sick. So let's make a concept for that actually. Let's go in here. There we go, sick. So now we can say derives bus. And then obviously, do we want to be able to get bus or no? Because they're protected, these functions. So we want to have a friend for the audio manager. And then we can have play bus text size T for the index. We'll just call it bus there. And then obviously we can say if or actually, even better, make a wrapper function for this. Bus exists. Go with that for now. Make it constant. So if it's not less than the size, if it's equal to it or greater than, then it doesn't exist. So we can say bus exists, and if it doesn't exist, return, but if it does exist, we can just get it. And then say play. It's obviously saying it can be const, so I might as well. Stop bus. So we control the buses. I don't think we would really need to be able to remove buses. We can just create or add them. Also, something I'm realizing, these should all be static, shouldn't they? And then obviously they don't need to be const because they're static. And then we just have our get in front of all of these. Yeah, we might want to provide a way to just get the bus at an index, but until then, not gonna. So now we need to have the implementation of the buses. I'm going to get rid of the bus source file because we don't need it. I'm going to do it in CMake first. Get rid of this. Actually, no, I'm going to add a sound bus here and make a sound bus. Yeah, no, I can just turn this into a sound bus source file, can't I? And then just make a new header. Yeah, like so. So now we have this sound bus, which we can quite simply include the parent bus. And then also include whatever SFML stuff we need, such as audio, sound. Forward declare the sound buffer class. And then have just a raw pointer to the sound buffer. And then just the sound itself. Which I believe, does it have a default constructor? No, I think it requires this. Yeah, I think you need to have that as the constructor. So, depending on how difficult this is to implement, I might make my own version of it. Okay, it's got an implementation side of it. So I probably won't. I'll see what happens. I don't really want to implement it if I don't have to. So if this sound bus, obviously this Constructor's not available because this needs to be initialized. And obviously it can't be initialized because it requires the sound buffer. For now, I'm gonna force, I'm gonna force whatever this is forcing, which is to always have a valid buffer. But I don't know if I actually want that in the end. Yeah, so let's just make it public. Doesn't really matter. Although we don't even need this, do we? Because this will have a reference to it, so we don't even need this. So, yeah, I am unsure. For now, I'll just keep it like that. What does this even need? Is it constant? Yeah, it's a constant sound buffer. I'm gonna have it as a pointer. And then just depointer it like that. Although I shouldn't have it as a pointer, but it would be easier to pass in the. I will have it as a pointer, even though it's wanting a reference and this could be invalid or null. It's easier for the user to just pass in a pointer from the resource manager, so I'm just going to do that. So we have this sound bus. This is obviously not explicit, but I don't really mind. Should also probably then in the create bus provide some arguments. And then make sure it's constructible as well. Yeah. Nice. Does make unique enforce that? I don't know. I really hate the standard code because it's so confusing to just try and read. It doesn't have any requires, and this isn't used anywhere except here and here, so I assume not. Yeah, I assume it doesn't enforce any kind of, it has to be constructible or whatever. But I might as well. So the kind of flow is you create a bus or you add it, whatever. That then gets put into this vector, and now you have the index of that bus. They can say, bus 0 is the sound effects bus 1 is the Okay, so as you can see down here, I'm going to be honest, I don't really know how it suddenly started working. I opened Rider, it wasn't working still. I went and I asked a question on the SFML Discord server about, hey, stuff. And then I just moved some stuff around, did some prints, and I believe this is exactly the same as it was before when it wasn't working, but for some reason it just suddenly started working again. So I don't know why, but it's working at least. So, you can see this is what I have at the moment. This is a Kenny character. It's from the 1-bit set or something. He just moves around. That's it, really. Yeah, if I go to the player here, there are animations. If I play the run animation instead, then it will play the run animation. There you go. This is him running. So, you know, animated sprite component, it works. What I want to do is actually finish up this simple bus implementation audio manager thing, and then later go back and essentially redo it, because it should just work now. This obviously doesn't exist because I commented it out. Then obviously we need this and this. Okay, so naturally this should work fine. Okay, it still works. That's good. Now we just need some sound to test it with. I'm pretty sure it would work. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Because we can say, you know, we actually need to include the audio manager here. We can add a bus. Or actually we can create a bus instead of adding one. We'll sort of include the sound bus. And we can then say that, and then play it straight after. Like that. And then all we need to do is provide the texture thing, which I believe would be fine doing here, because I said texture, I mean sound, the resource, because the resource manager is, no, it's not a singleton at all. It's specific to levels, meaning we should do this in the player instead. So in the player, on load resources, we can do that. And yeah, it doesn't matter that this goes out of scope, because I'm not going to use this variable again. So we can provide it a thing. Obviously, we can say resource manager dot create sound. We can just call this my sound or something, and the file will be, I don't know. I believe, where does it even need? It's in here. Yeah, this is, yeah, res, and then we can say sound, which I believe is the sounds we have. Yeah, res/sound. That's the folder that we're looking into. So this will be where all the sounds are. I just got to get a sound. Okay, so I have this MP3 of the aim and break. Yeah, you know, obviously. So we can just say aim and break or arm and break MP3, and I do believe SFML supports MP3. So now if we run this, we should hear the aim and break, arm and break playing, although this is saying there's no overload, because obviously make unique. Aha, because we need to depointer it. Okay, we have sound playing. That's pretty sick. So now we can play sound, play music as well with a music bus. Yeah, I'm almost certainly going to redo this at some point, because it's I don't like the system very much. But at least the buses allow you to do basically whatever you want with the like current sound that's playing. So if you wanted to add effects or something, you could add an effect to a certain bus. Yeah, maybe having buses in a map where it's like a string key, so that you can say, you know, you can call a certain bus certain sounds. But of course, the only problem is you've got to have multiple buses if you're going to have multiple sounds playing at the same time. But I think that's fine, actually. Yeah, I don't think that's much of a problem. I might just change it to a map with a string, then instead, the only thing I do want to do is have it so that you separate. You can have a bus without a kind of resource, and then when you play, it just doesn't do anything. So yeah, I want to be able to have a bus without a resource, and then you can add a resource to it or set the resource of it and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll do that now actually. Let's take this create bus. Let's instead have an unordered map. With a string. So then when we add a bus, we need to obviously pass in the let's do it as a const reference. We don't want to do a string view because we're setting it, and then we can actually just return the pointer to it. Because I think actually being able to give you the bus pointer is fine, and then you can manipulate the stuff like that. So the audio manager just manages buses, and then the buses themselves manage playing stuff. So this play bus and stuff, that won't actually be a thing, and I think that's fine. Obviously you can refactor or whatever, stuff like that, but yeah, so adding a bus, we need to get a bus as well. This would just be a string view. Obviously it can't be const, but yes, so these don't exist. This obviously needs to have this signature. So yeah, we need to obviously check if this bus name exists, and if it does, we can just call getBus. So if it contains the bus name, then we can just return getBus, bus name. However, if it doesn't, then we got to actually, we don't need this anymore, do we? This could be private. Yeah, we don't need to do this because nothing else is going to have buses. Any bus that exists at all will always be owned by this, so we don't need to be able to move stuff around. This is just going to be a helper thing. So we do that, and then obviously we say buses dot try and place the bus name and moving in the bus itself, and then we just want to return the pointer to the bus, get the buses, and then dot at the bus name. And obviously it's a unique pointer, so we get it. So obviously we also want to, this returns something that lets us check if it's true or false or not. So we can say also result, say if result dot second. If this is false, then we can return null pointer. So if it failed to get inserted, we'll just return null. We should probably print an error on that as well. Print an error, say failed to add bus name bus. So yeah, so if we fail to in-place it, it will say failed to in-place, return null, but if it does succeed, then we just return the in-placed bus. And then obviously get bus, we need to see if it contains, and if it doesn't contain it, then we Going return null, and also debug. Saying there to get this bus. It does not exist, or something, or just this. And then, as if it doesn't contain it, but if it does contain it, then we can just return the get buses at the bus name dot get. Nice. So now in player here, instead of doing that, we can give it an auto play bus. Isn't a thing. We instead have sound bus play. It's an iBus. Yeah, do we not include bus? This would just be SFX or something. Why can't I? What? Oh, it's because they're private or protected, that's why. Make them public. There you go, now we can play it. So we can create a bus, save a reference to it. We don't need to save a reference to it. This could just be replaced with a call to the audio manager, get bus, and then get the SFX bus, and then play that instead. Those should be essentially interchangeable. This is saying it does not take one argument. Oh yeah, because I need to pass in the bus name. There we go. Okay, nice. And then if we switch it out for this one, meaning we don't even need to save this result into a variable. We can just create it and then get it straight after. Nice. So obviously you want to check if the result of getBus is valid and stuff, but there you go. Nice. We have that. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, most of this is probably going to be done in my free time because I don't think there's much point in documenting it in video form because commits already document that, and the only thing video form really gets more than commits is like helping people to understand what's going on and sort of tutorial style stuff. But when you're at this point, it's more just working it out by yourself instead of following what someone else is doing. So if you were following what I was doing, thanks for trusting me that much, but also you probably shouldn't anymore and just work it out for yourself. So I'm probably not going to really upload much, and if I do, it'll be like some other thing or something adjacent, probably something programming related, but not specifically this engine. So yeah, for now, have fun. Hope this helped in some form.